Welcome to Kaftan Television once again this beautiful day, this beautiful Tuesday. And I'm welcoming you from the Abuja studio of the station. My name is Dayo Omogun. I hope that your day is going well. I hope that you're having a beautiful day out there. I hope that you're in high spirits. It's important that I have viewers who are doing great. It's important to me, and I want to encourage you that whatever it is that is happening around you, you can switch off and switch on. Switch that off if it's something that's not too beautiful. Just switch on onto Kaftan Television, and for this next few minutes or hours, I'm sure that things will get better, because you'll get information, you'll get enlightenment, you'll get humor, you'll get lifted. So please do stay tuned to Kaftan Television and tell your neighbors that it's happening here. And as usual on the Polity, the program is called The Polity, we discuss ongoing issues, trending issues, and we take a look through our guests. We look at the issues through the eyes, the perspectives, the stand of our guests, and as much as possible, we make it as dispassionate as possible. And so, in the next few minutes, we will be talking about something that's trending right now. By the way, I have my guest with me right here. His name is Dr. Clem Aguiyi Esquire.
Thank you, Dayo, for having me in your studio.
You're welcome.
All right.
Good to have you.
Say good afternoon to all our guests out there that are listening to.
You mean all our viewers?
All our viewers and audience. So
yeah.
Well, I call them guests also because we're here to talk to them.
To them. And
so they also get an audience.
All right. So that's my guest, and he will be doing justice to the topic at hand today, especially because it concerns him more directly than many of us. Now, we're talking about the Anambra gubernatorial election campaigns. And if you notice, you would see that recently, while one was expecting, because it's barely a month from now, November 8th is barely a month from now, that's about a month and about 8 days, and so, or 7 days. And one would have expected that the campaign should be hotting up on real issues, but there was a dissent recently, a distraction, as contestants began to go personal, began to delve into personal jibes, and one would think it would look as if there were no real issues to talk about, and that's quite disconcerting. Doctor, why do you think that they had to leave the real issues and begin to go down to somebody's mouth is smelling, they should check somebody's DNA, the DNA of somebody's child, and all that and all that? Did we have to go there, and why? I mean, what could be the reason?
Well, let me begin by saying that the campaign in Anambra State is going on fine, especially coming from the governor's side.
All right.
He's meeting the people.
How fine is fine when you have that element, that part of it?
Well, some of these elements are bound to happen in politics. For example, politicians can always throw jab at each other. They can always make a swipe at each other. I mean, it does happen in politics. But what we don't really expect to happen is when you begin to have a campaign of calumny, a campaign of personal destruction, that you either verbally or physically that you want to decimate your opponent. That leaves the real issue to begin to dive into what shouldn't be. But then you will one expect that such tensions generally will come in politics. But the one that everybody is in agreement to say no is you don't go very private in attacking the spouse and family of your opponent.
What's the definition of very private?
Well, there are some private things that you keep private. I mean, if let me say, for example, there are things that actually people of Anambra State wants to be discussed.
Sure, yes.
There are issues that we need to talk about, irrespective of your political affiliation. You know, there are issues we'll talk about. For example, I don't expect when politicians are in the ring, are in the arena, doing their political stuff with each other, I don't expect you to leave that arena and start attacking maybe the governor's wife or the governor's children or the governor or the other campaign attacking the other people's wife and children. These are unnecessary private matters that should be left at the privacy of it all. And to even drag the governor's wife into it, I think was very, very uncalled for. She's not a politician. She's been a very responsible first lady, among the best we have in the history of Anambra State.
Yeah, before you go to the wonderful compliments of the wife of the governor, did this not arise as a result of the seed and fruit principle of you sow it and then you get a harvest? And usually, like I say to people, harvest is usually more than seed. Is that not what happened?
Who sowed what?
Exactly.
And
so
who is reaping what?
So how? I mean, who launched out in terms of personal attacks the first?
Well, I've personally taken my time to actually review the statements made by the governor that people are always pointing at, that the governor said this, and I did not see anything that is hyper-inflammatory in what the governor has said, and the governor did not call anybody's name when he was talking.
Yeah, maybe let my viewers hear what he said, so they can also have.
Yes, you can have your viewers. Yes, because the governor never called any person's name.
Yes, but he said what?
He made an allusion.
That.
And the allusion he made can be ascribed to
anybody.
To anybody.
Yes.
But then somebody took it upon him or herself to claim.
But there is something called innuendos.
Of course, innuendos are thrown in politics. I'm not saying no to that. But if innuendos are thrown, why would you think it is you? There are more than 1,000 people might fit the bill of the innuendo.
Yes.
Why you think it is you now? Then you went out of your way and to begin to make personal attacks on the person and calling names. It doesn't. Let me tell you, there are things you don't do in politics. Even if this person is your opponent, you can throw innuendos, you can throw aspersion, but you don't call the person's name. You don't zero in personal. I think the person that went personal is wrong to go personal. Now, you know, because when you go personal now, that is when other people start going personal and private. That means you have crossed the line. Exactly. You shouldn't have done that. If all the parties that are involved should think back now and reflect, they will understand that this is something that shouldn't have even raised any heads. Because somebody made an aspersion. Let me assume, for example, I'm a lawyer. I end my LLB. I'm called to bar, Nigerian bar.
Yes.
I'm qualified to practice as a lawyer.
Yes.
And you get up and say, don't mind that man. He's not a lawyer. He's claiming to be a lawyer. I will laugh at you.
But that was in the beginning.
No, I'm just giving you an instance.
Yes.
I will laugh at you. You know why? Because I'm a lawyer. And I know that you are making a frivolous claim against me. So I will not even take you too serious.
Exactly. Because you know who you are.
I know who I am. Now, if somebody said you don't have a PhD, for example, and you know that you have a PhD, and you know that you had your bachelor's,
yes,
you had your master's before you got your PhD, why would that be an issue that will make you hit the roof and you start dragging everybody you can see down the line? It's not proper. If they have good advisors,
that's on the side of the governor now.
I'm just giving an example, general side.
Right.
I'm not taking the side of the governor here.
No, I'm saying the person who got that kind of a slam was the governor when he was told that his doctorate, his professorship, whatever. If I were the governor, but it did not start from that person. The governor was the one that first of all went out.
What did the governor say?
Yes, I'm asking you.
No, what did the governor say? The governor threw the normal political jab.
Let's hear the jibe and let the people hear.
Yeah, the governor threw a jibe, which is normal in politics.
Right.
Which is normal in politics. And whatever he has said, I took it as political jibe. You can jibe him back. I didn't say you shouldn't jibe him back. But jibe him and also respect the office that he's occupying. because he's occupying.
I think when you get in the fray,
yes,
you cannot lay claim to any office at this point. If you're in the election campaign fray, then you cannot be laying claim to the governor.
No. No matter where, let me tell you. For example, today, we disagree to be agreeable.
Sure.
No matter how I disagree with Mr. President today,
yes,
he's still the president of Nigeria.
Not in an election.
Even in an election, because especially if I aspire to that office that he occupies, that office, I will respect the office.
Yes.
But that does not mean I will not do my campaign. There are many subtle ways. There's many ways of respectfully throwing jabs and respectfully disagreeing to agree. That is what politics is all about. Politics is full of challenges and problems. But the problem is how do we solve the problem that is in politics? It's not by escalating things beyond your own management. That's not politics anymore.
Doctor, I really love what you said a while ago when you said if you were the one, you'll brush it off because it doesn't really make it. It doesn't make anything. It doesn't make anything.
No
effect.
Because
you know,
yes,
that you are who you are, and the system recognizes you as such.
Of course.
So if that was the case, what you are saying, what you have said by that, by implication, is that the governor should not have responded for that.
Did he respond for that?
Well, the truth is that the
governor did not respond for that. The only thing that happened was that the person that was responding dragged in the governor's wife name into it, which I said is improper. And the governor didn't even go to respond for his wife. The wife responded on her own. And I think she took a higher moral ground when she responded, because what I read she responded was that she does not want to legitimize whatever that is being said with a response, which is maintaining a higher moral ground, being the bigger person, to walk away from the fray. And I respect that. You understand? And that's why I said, I know the wife very well. And I know that she's a very, very responsible woman. And I know that this is a woman that has been very dutiful, had carried on herself as a first lady in Anambra State. In fact, I used to call two of them, buy one, get one free. Because what you think you are lacking in the governor, you get it from the wife. If you think that the governor is not very soft, you get it in a very soft-spoken wife that is also believing that governance should also mean social intervention.
But the woman is not in government.
You said what?
Is she in government?
She's the first lady of Anambra State, and she's having her own social intervention program.
Is there any such office as per the constitution?
Even office or no office, who told you that if I'm the governor today, that my wife should not be doing something that is helping the poor? Does she see my office? What you should be asking yourself, the role she's playing, is she doing that with the resources of the state? So, she's not doing it with the resources of the state. She's not doing anything she's doing. There's no budget for the governor's. I said there is no budget for the governor's wife in Anambra State.
All right, so
she's not doing it with the resources of the state. As a wife of the governor, you could occupy.
But I think a better description should be wife of the governor, because
as the
when
wife
we say first lady, it's as if there's such an office.
You are quarreling with nomenclature.
Exactly, because those things do matter.
When we say governor, do we say first citizen of Anambra State?
No, it can't be first citizen because we already have a first citizen.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yes.
This is the first lady. Now we call her first lady. She come to tell you that she's the first lady. She sees herself as the wife of the governor. And nothing stopped the wife of the governor from playing roles that will support the husband. Supporting role to the husband. Because that is the sole reason why they even got married in the first instance. To support your man.
Insofar as the resources of the state.
The resources of the state, there's no, if you bring the budget of Anambra State, you will not see 1 naira allocated to the office of the governor of Anambra State. And let me tell you, being the governor's wife gives you a platform and privilege that people who are touched can donate to assist any good initiative.
Yes, I agree.
Even me here, as ordinary person, if I have a good initiative that is innovative and creative, that is helping the people, who told you that people will not come and they put their money and fund it? That is how NGOs grow. So when people begin to say certain things, they don't even understand how these things are functioning.
Right.
The mere fact that you are the governor's wife or you are the wife of the traditional ruler gives you a platform that you can call for donations, support for what you are doing, and people will come to support you. So we should stop killing ourselves over whether I'm answering first lady or I'm answering answering second lady.
What matters to the average Nigerian is what you have just talked about. They are interested in ensuring that the nation's resources are not channeled to such an office because it is not recognized by law. It's not. You are a lawyer, so you
I'm not talking about other states.
No, I'm talking on a general note.
I'm speaking on Anambra State. Yes. I am saying that the healthy living by Mrs. Soludo, her advocacy on child malnutrition, her advocacy for women's health care, for her advocacy on mental health care, even though it's beneficial to the people of Anambra State, is not funded by the state. The state is not funding it. This is even what she has been doing as a private citizen.
Oh, great.
Even before she became the governor's wife. She's simply pursuing and following her passion. There's no resources of Anambra State, not one kobo of Anambra State that is budgeted as for the office of the First Lady of Anambra State or for the office of the wife of the governor of Anambra State.
It's good to know.
It is not. It doesn't exist.
All right then. Let's move ahead. Maybe the only other role would have been for her to have maybe in one way or the other censored the husband to the point where he wouldn't have started that rougher fight. There was no need for it because there are issues in that should be talked about. Really,
it means she will have censored the husband.
Yes,
I'm still asking you, what did the husband say that caused the rougher fight? Because I've reviewed it myself. Because I want to be in the position to actually say, Mr. Governor, hey, you couldn't have done this, or this is hitting below the belt.
Yeah, exactly.
But I've reviewed it now personally, and I believe you. I reviewed it from a negative mind. I want to find him at fault. Do you understand what I'm saying? I wanted to find the governor at fault in what he said and how he said it. But you see what people are trying to.
What people a while ago, you said because he did not mention names.
Of course, he didn't mention anybody's name.
It is the Igbo who have this parable, if I remember, a proverb, if I remember correctly, that when you mention dry bones, any agadi wine, any old woman takes it that the matter. I mean,
are you the only old woman? Are you the only old woman? Why would you take it personal?
Well,
you're not the only old woman. Why would you take it personal? And besides, you're in politics. People throw jab at you, throw jab at them, and you move on. You can only deflect. Do you understand what I'm saying? A politician must develop a tough skin when it comes to throwing jabs. That's why in politics. Anybody in politics that cannot develop a tough skin to jabs can't be in politics.
All right.
Because they throw jabs at you, you deflect it as if, and then
and in the process you also hit back.
You hit back now.
Yes, you hit back. But you see, you don't hit back. You don't hit back in a way that make you now look ugly. No. But a jibe is a jibe. It's a jibe.
No, a jibe is a jibe. But the jibe that was thrown was not thrown at you. No. Because nobody's name was mentioned.
Once a jibe is thrown, I mean, you see how they say that who the cap fits, let them wear it.
Let them wear it.
Yes. So if the person, we just talked about innuendos. We just talked about innuendos.
Yes.
And I'm sure you people take innuendos.
I know what you mean by this.
So now, if somebody sees, okay, if you find you're talking about, and you say that big-headed man, I mean, and he looks at himself and believes that he is one of the, or he is the one around there, because you see, the governor wouldn't have been throwing a jab at one average Anambra person. This is election period. So if he's throwing a jibe that can be located within a persona, then it is. Don't you think it's right for the person to say this is actually talking to me?
Well, you see, let me tell you, even in politics there are homo, and I'm a political consultant. I'm a political consultant.
Yes.
And one of the things I coach my clients on is how to actually find happiness in politics.
Yeah.
Be able to take humor.
Yes.
In politics.
Yeah.
And not everything that is said that is responded to. Exactly. And not everything that is said is responded fiercely. The fierce way.
That it was thrown.
It was thrown.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes you manage these things in a way that you deflect and you take the moral high ground.
Right.
You can convert any disadvantage into an advantage. Somebody may call you Isiobo. And you tell them Isiobo means big head.
Okay, exactly.
Yeah? Somebody can call you big head.
Yes.
That big-headed one.
Yes.
And you tell him his head that is so small, what is inside it? Are you understand? This politics is also entertainment, because you want to make the people laugh. I think we should be able to be organizing session for politicians, whereby we can have a session for them to come and tell a joke during their campaign. Pass your campaign message with a joke. That joke may be to yourself or to your opponent, so that people can relax and you people can laugh and know that this thing is a game that you people are playing. It's not a fight. It's not a military fight that you people are fighting to kill each other. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you just like people have debates, that is a serious. They take very serious. They are rehearsing. We can also have a session where this major contender, your job this night is to hold the mic and make a joke that will make people laugh. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that you understand. So that when this job comes to you, you understand it's all part of the game, because these people are you're like sportsmen.
So as far as you're concerned, the person who has taken it out of context, taking it too hard, is Ekunife. Is that what you feel?
I didn't say it is.
No, I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
I said, if you looked at the reaction and the subsequent reaction that followed, you find that it is even the social media that have taken over the fight. If you find that it's the followers or the fans of the different candidates that are actually taking these things out of context, because some of the things that are associated to some of them, they come out tomorrow to say that I never said. It wasn't me that said. Do you understand what I'm saying? And along the line, social media took it now, giving it different headlines that had nothing to do with what the major gladiator has said. But already, you have created the fertile ground for the social media to get frenzy. And what does the media want? Both the citizen media and the major mainstream media. What they want is to create sensational headlines.
Yeah.
And they saw
what they want is
sensation. Then
man bites dog.
Man bites dog theory. And that's what they want. And they saw the opportunity for the man bites dog theory. And then, of course, they have to get their mileage. They have to have their like and share. They have to have their rating. So they took it and it's
cause and effect.
It's a cause and effect. So, but I'm happy that currently it will appear that they have all gotten over it and beginning to focus on the real issue, because there are issues that matters to the people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I remember well, I do know that environmental challenges are serious challenges in the southeast. Issues of like erosion and all that. Are there such cases in Anambra?
Anambra, I think, is one of the worst areas that are affected by erosion.
Very good. So
in Nigeria.
Yes.
And this is one issue that actually not just requiring the state attention, it requires federal attention in Anambra State, because in Anambra State there are communities that has been eaten up by landslides and erosion. People's houses are caving in that you cannot say that this is for the communities to bear the brunt. They didn't create it. And also our lifestyle, the way we have used our lands, have also created some of this problem, because when you are building and cutting down trees without replanting, you are creating way for erosion, because some of the things that wedges these water flows are trees and the grasses.
True.
But the more we are using our lands carelessly, we don't care about the environment. And this is they start small. They don't start big overnight. They start very small. It's expanding. Before you know it, it is taking up a whole community.
I think that these are some of the issues that candidates should be talking about.
Yeah, these are some of the issues, because we need to really change our ways of using land, the way we care for our environment. We are careless about our environment, generally in Nigeria, because we complain about, for example, if you go to Israel and the Arab country, they've been able to transform their desert into fertile ground that are producing food and all kinds of things. There's no land that is useless. The only Nigeria that you see useless land. Other places, they've been able to convert desert into agricultural areas. They've been able to, even this erosion you're talking about. When I visited the Nanka erosion site, what came into my head immediately is, can't we use this place as an underground military training site? Because it's quite huge.
Is it that deep?
It is very deep and huge. Wow. And I said, why are we, this thing can be converted into a very huge military complex.
Wow.
Where you can pack aircrafts, where you can build ships, where you can store our critical munitions. And
So you're talking of like miles and miles.
I'm talking about miles and miles. I'm talking about depth of over a depth that can take more than 10-story building. A depth that will take more than 10-story. Nature has already created it for you. It's only for you to now think and say, how can I utilize it? How can I transform it into something that can be useful? It can be transformed into a very, very useful.
But transforming it will then mean that you have to ensure that it no longer serves as a waterway. Else,
that is, you see, the waterways can be diverted.
Yeah, I know.
You understand? So you see, when you have people that are in government that are critical thinking, you ask questions. What can we do? By the time you have people brainstorm, let me tell you, people hire people to think.
Oh, sure, yes.
When I lived in California, I applied for a job and I got a job. Just your job is to think. It's a car making company, just to think for the company. And you're paid to think, just think. How do we improve the next model? What do we add to this vehicle to make it better in the next coming year? We're trying to create a new model. What can we add that we don't have
in the previous model?
That is why every model
is an improvement.
Is an improvement of the other. But how can't we in Nigeria sit down and get people that think? I really asked myself question many times when I was in the government. Who is thinking for the Igbos? Who are thinking for Anambrarians? Where are the thinkers that are thinking for our people? Because if you see how the narratives have gone over the years, where people now sit down at home every Monday and a huge sum of money is being lost in the economy. People are killing each other in the name of agitation, creating insecurity. You ask yourself, and it is Okada man that is driving the narrative, telling you that you must sit at home, there's no work, you can't do this, you can't do it. It's Okada man that is telling you, a butcher that is telling you there's no work today. Forgetting that he's losing revenue, he's losing income. Yes, forgetting that. So you ask yourself, who are thinking for us? There was a time it was rumored that former President Buhari is Jubril of Sudan. People believed it. People believed it. Wonderful. And they believed it more in my area, that actually Buhari is dead. Buhari was dead. That's a Jubril. It's a clone. And people believed it. Professors, doctors, engineers. I begin to ask yourself, who are really thinking for these people? And even if you look at the way Nigeria is going today, you ask yourself, who are those thinking for Nigeria? Because I had one cleric telling the military, don't provoke the bandits. You had the bandits saying, the military, if you kill 10 of our people, we'll kill 1,000 of you. You see, we have gotten to that stage in Nigeria that you begin to say, who are those driving this narrative of this great country that we call our country? Who are our storytellers? And who are those inventing how we're going to be in the next 20, 50 years? All right. Talking about thinking and talking about from thinking, you begin to execute. The governor, Soludo, is the man to beat, is it, in this election? Because he is the incumbent, right? What has he done about this issue of erosion, for example? And what is there any other alternative that some other contestants are bringing to the table concerning this particular issue? Well, first of all, let me begin by saying that the November 8th election is Soludo's election. What do you mean? It's his election to win. Oh, to win. It's only him that will decide to lose it. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's given. It's a straight. Believe me, if not that this is democracy, yes, I will tell you that it is a no contest, because the other political parties, for example, PDP, as far as I'm concerned, is unavailable in Anambra State. I don't see PDP getting 5,000 votes. Well, maybe we should put some of these things down. If PDP gets 5,000 votes, it's a miracle. 5,000 votes. Miracle. Now, in how many local governments? In all the local government, the general election. Now, if you look at Labour Party in Anambra State, I don't even know how to place them, because they are the most confused set of political party you can think of in Anambra State, because even their members are not sure whether they are ADC or the Labour Party. So I don't see them making much of a huge crash. Can you expatiate? Now, what do you mean by they don't know whether they are APC or they are? They don't know whether they are APC now, because ADC. Sorry, ADC, okay, now, or Labour Party. Oh, now tell me, what is Labour Party? without the principal, the presidential candidate that ran with them in 2023? What is Labour Party in Nigeria as a whole? Labour Party is nothing. They are nothing. If you will remove the principal. Now the principal they are not even sure whether the principal
is with them
or not with them. Because in the by-election that happened, he was campaigning for ADC and telling people that it is ADC. Now they failed woefully. That I don't know whether he had returned back to Labour Party. And all of them are hoping that that effect will happen. But the principal is not the one on the ballot box, on the ballot paper. So the effect will not be there. You understand what I'm saying?
But the principal is not the one being voted for. So
that's what I'm saying. The person that is running the election is hoping for the principal to make a miracle, a magic for him. But the principal is not the one being voted for. So that miracle, or he's expecting, or that magic effect will not be there. Besides, the other party that could have made a mark, the APC.
Yes.
I mean, not that they will make a mark to win, but they could have at least made a visible mark. But the campaign is not even fly. The campaign has even collapsed on its own. The campaign had been immersed in this controversy that we're talking about, where issues are left, and there is either you are a debtor, or pay me my money, or you are this, or you are that. That's how the campaign has collapsed. They don't have any campaign anymore because they lack the essential things that will make you win election. And what are these
essential things?
One thing that can make you win, three essential things that will make you win an election, because though there are other factors, is one, your strategy in an election. They don't have any strategy. But they thought the only way they can win an election is by causing and abusing the incumbent. And they think they can abuse themselves into power. There is no strategy on ground. That's number one.
Is it not normal in politics to criticize whoever?
I'm coming. It's normal to criticize, let me say, but you criticize constructively. You criticize with an alternative. If you say I'm not doing well here, you'll be able to offer an alternative. And then number two is your message. What is your message to Anambra? If you don't have the right messaging, you cannot get it. Cannot get the people to fall in line, because the people wants to hear the message. Are you understand what I'm saying now? What message are you bringing? Is it the message of abusing the incumbent and abusing everybody? You understand? If that's what you're bringing, that means you're losing the track. Then the next thing, the fund. Do you have the fund to match the resources of the incumbent who have already 50% ongoing for him, or 60%? Because one, he has an organized political party on the ground. That means he has boot on the ground. He has people scattered. He has appointed, giving privileges and leverages across the communities that are going to rally vote for him. You don't have. How do you want to beat him? Are you understanding? You don't have the resources. The things you are looking for money for, he's already taken for granted. If you are looking to put money in the media, in airwaves,
yes,
you already have TV stations that are run by the state.
So they will get those services done for free.
Why wouldn't they get it done for free? They will get it done for free because that's the ruling party. It's all over. It's taken for granted. That is why a ruling party has an edge over you.
Does does it then still amount to a level playing ground?
Well, of course, it amounts to level playing ground. When one party can run ads without paying, and others have to pay through the nose. Don't you know that if you are working in this office that we are today,
yes,
and you want to do your naming ceremony for your child, and you want it on air, and I want to do my own child naming ceremony, I want it on air. The management, because you are a staff here, will give you waivers and discounts, which they will not give to me. Yeah, what we call employees benefit. You will get it. Why will I begrudge you of that? You will get it. The owner of the place maybe say, "Oh, Dayo, go and do it. It's no problem." GM approve for Dayo free of charge. It's one of us. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, these are things that you have to understand. This is how it is. Even in America, it is like that.
But Daya is not contesting an election with other people.
I'm giving you an example.
I'm saying that there's a little twist to what's on ground than what you have put, the analogy you've done. I'm saying that the Soludo, or the governor in place right now, is going into an election, and he needs adverts. He needs to campaign. He needs to use television or whatever, different kind of media. and he's not going to pay. And I'm asking, does that still amount to a level playing ground? If they can take it for granted, if the APGA doesn't have to pay, whereas APC has to pay, ADC, whatever, have to pay, and sometimes pay through their noses, because there are parties that are struggling in that election. There are parties that paying the recently introduced advert fees, fees, maybe a challenge for.
Let me talk about the one I know.
All right, tell us.
If you are running as an incumbent, there are certain things that is taken for granted that you will utilize. For example, you are living in the government house.
Yes.
The government is feeding you. You go on campaign with your group and you come back. The
with
food that is served
vehicles.
with the government vehicle and government fuel. And you come back home. They will bring food and serve water or maybe some rice to people that follow you to the campaign. I mean, the food you are supposed to serve, because the governor doesn't eat alone. He eats with people. You understand what I'm saying? But you are running with him. When you go home, your wife will be looking for what to cook to put on the table for you to eat and maybe give the people that followed you. The point I'm making, even if you bought the food, maybe the cook in the government house are the one that have prepared the food. You didn't pay for it. But the man running against you, the food that is being prepared, he hired cooks and caterers that will prepare it. The issue, what I'm trying to make you understand, is that there are advantages of being an incumbent.
Yes, I am saying.
And those advantages is something that you cannot wish away or take away from the incumbent. It doesn't mean that the incumbent doesn't have his own drawback.
No, that's not the point.
And let me tell you, the drawbacks of the incumbent in running an election is that the incumbent is the one who have questions to answer.
Exactly, about performance.
Our performance.
Yes.
You that is coming. You're coming on a clean slate and making glorious promises that some of them you may not even deliver. And if you are very suave in your manner of speech and spoken English, people might be smeared into you and they can begin to get attracted to you and say, this man is connecting to us. That's why I said the people that are running against Soludo in Anambra State cannot make the impact you are thinking about, because they don't even have the message. They're not communicating to the people. They don't have the message. Soludo has better message. He has questions to answer, and his records are there, speaking for himself. And also, where he's taking the state to is also things that he's talking about.
All right.
Let me tell you.
Maybe we'll take them one after the other.
Okay.
And that's what I tried to do in the last question.
Okay.
I'm asking, we just took the issue of erosion.
Yes, and the governor has worked.
Exactly. So what has the governor done about this?
The governor has.
4 years has will lapse very shortly.
The governor has tackled many erosion projects. If there's a place the governor is strong, it is on infrastructure, road infrastructure and bridges. And in constructing these bridges and these roads, erosion sites are also being dealt with. I may not be able to begin to count it one by one because he has built so many. He has built over between 600 and something to 800 and something kilometers of roads. He has built more than 12 bridges. Are you as I'm saying? And what I mean bridges, standard bridge, not culverts. And in doing this, erosions are also being checked. Gutters are being created to control the water flow. So what is happening in Anambra State under Governor Soludo in terms of infrastructure is unprecedented. You see, before now, Anambra State is defined with just Anambra State is just a state that is, you only have one dual carriageway. One dual carriageway. And this one dual carriageway is one that runs from Onitsha to Enugu. That's the only dual carriageway in Anambra State before Soludo. But as I speak to you today, Soludo has been able to develop at least, in my own calculation, more than 2 or 3 dual carriageway of more than 10-15 kilometers. He had dualized the Agolo down to Nobi to Newe. Dualized. Standard, Julius Berger style, with side drains. 4 vehicles can run on each road at a time. You go from Amobia to Ekulobia. You have dualized it. So Anambra is no longer a city with a state with one dual carriage way.
And you think that no other contestant can do better than that?
From what is on the table,
Yes.
no, they can't. They can't. This is a man that is passionate about transformation. He's passionate about the state, and he came with a focus. If you go to Kulobia interchange, you see what he has done there.
You said something that that the performance is unprecedented. It can be unprecedented and still fall below the mark. Do you know?
Well, it depends on what your expectations are.
Exactly. For example, if the need, you talked about maybe about 600 roads and all that.
I say more than 600 kilometers of roads.
More than 600 kilometers.
More than 800 and something.
If the need for the state is about 5,000 kilometers, and it deals 600, I'm sure you want to look at that ratio, the percentage of that. That'll be barely about 10% of what the need is. But wait a minute. And then also, again, it will depend on what he promised during the campaigns. So these are some of the comparisons that we need to get into. But of course, we really don't have all that right now. Because if he promised 2,000 kilometers of roads and he did 600, you can't, it might be unprecedented. Maybe the previous government didn't even do 300. But if he promised 2,000 kilometers and he did 600, it's still a fail. So these things are, let
me help you out.
It depends on who is looking at what.
Let me help you out.
Yes.
Very fortunately.
Yes.
The governor did not promise to solve all the problem in Anambra
No,
State.
he can't.
And no government is able to solve all the problems.
Solve all the problems, yes.
But the governor promised to deliver on standard roads that are durable, not China roads. And he has been building those standard roads. And many factors comes in between being able to even build 1,000 roads. Resources is one of them. How much is available to the state to construct as much as possible? Do you understand what I'm saying? You have to look at the resources. It is his prudent management of resources that have resulted into even having the number of kilometers of roads that we are talking about here. So you have to also look at the weather condition. Nigeria is a place where you have about 6 months of rainy season, 3 months of dry season, and all these seasons, they affect road construction. Do you understand? Are you getting my point?
Yeah, clearly.
And these are the things that also affect how fast you can run. So you only have a window of the dry season to actually run and see what you can get. Because once the rainy season set in, you cannot be building roads under the rain. This is affects how fast you can run and until we develop the technology whereby you can be building roads under the rain. You can be missing cement under the rain. We've not gotten that technology yet, but we'll get it. Maybe we can improve. But based on our available circumstances, he has done unprecedentably well. And what impresses me so much is that this is one governor that has his mind focused on the destination that is taking Anambra to. That's why he has this big, bold, beautiful project initiative, which he called the Anambra Mixed Industrial City, that he conceptualized and is putting it into effect.
Anambra what?
Anambra Mixed Industrial City.
Okay.
Smart City. The Mixed Industrial Smart City is where we are going to have, it's like creating Anambra as the new axis of industrialization. Not just in Igbo land, but across Nigeria. The Mixed Industrial City is going to have like the petrochemical and pharmaceutical hub. It's going to have the leather and shoe processing hub. It's going to have the automotive industries hub. You know, Anambra State is one of the states where you manufacture at least 1 to 2 cars in Nigeria, and we are very good at that. So the hub will be there. It's going to be like we're going to have like a trade-free zone there, encompassed there.
He's going to have.
That is the design.
No, he's going to have. After 4 years, he's going to have.
All this is I'm saying. Do you know what it takes to plan a city? You have to
we just agreed. We just agreed.
You have to. For example, the work is ongoing there. It's not completed. Work is ongoing there. I'm explaining the build.
No, we just agreed. Doctor, we just agreed that Soludo is in a class by himself and will be assessed based on performance.
Yes.
It's unlike you, if you get into the contest, or if Dio gets into the contest, where we begin to promise that we will bring heaven down to earth and all that. Right now, we need to know exactly. You just said, and I hope that Anambrarians can agree with you, that he has tackled to a large extent the issue of a substantial extent the issue of erosion through construction of roads and bridges and all that, because by that water is also properly channeled. Yes. Yeah, which is we can agree. So we should be talking about what he has done, not what he intends to do.
No, you have to understand. You have to understand. You cannot. You ask me a question, and I believe that the reason why you ask me a question is to get a response, and I want to see to it that I respond to you, and you should be interested in my answer.
Go ahead then.
Okay. So, what I'm trying to say, for example, if you have been to Oka in Anambra State before Soludo came in, Oka is just packed in like that. You can't even breathe. You can't even move around. You understand? It's congested. It's an old city. But what Soludo has come, when he comes and he began the Oka 2.0. The Oka 2.0 is designed to decongest the original Oka and expand Oka into a befitting capital territory. That should be of interest to you and to the Anambra. Listen to me. The essence of the Oka 2.0 is the new Oka capital. So that when you come, because the current location of the capital cannot be developed into a mega city anymore. You can salvage it to a minimum, to some extent, but Oka 2.0 is meant to address the infrastructural deficit, the residential deficit that we have in Oka, that makes housing very expensive and things like that, that make the city not to be able to be captured as a capital city. I told you it is a one city dual carriageway, but with him
prior to
now, and now he's making it to expand it. This is something that we should be celebrating. We should take advantage of. And like I was telling you about his big, bold, beautiful initiative, which is the mixed city, the mixed industrial city, and all what he's going to have. By the time this mixed city comes into existence, you're going to have also mixed transportation system, because a whole avalanche of roads will be created and for uses. You know what I'm saying now? And the mixed industrial city is not just about industrial zones. There are residential estates there and also whatnot. There is going to be a railway line that, because of the movement of the goods that are being produced there, the railway line will be there. And there's a contemplation of maybe an airstrip or an airport that will be there for the future, because you don't know how big this dream is going to metamorphose into, that people will now begin to think of flying direct to their businesses down there. So somebody, I have been privileged to travel with a VIP to land in Kogi at Obajana, where they have this cement. They have an airstrip there. You know what I'm saying? So the owners of the airstrip and their guests would fly straight to the Obajana and then do the rest by road. So the Anambra Industrial Mixed City is not just a project for now, it's also a project for the future. You're thinking about the next 20 years, next 50 years, where will Anambra be? Where do you want to take Anambra to? He wants to stimulate industrialization. He wants to stimulate development. He wants to grow the IGR of the state.
Let's talk about stimulating industrialization. Now, if this is where his heart lies, one would expect that, for example, all vehicles used by government will be sourced from within. Is that the situation right now? I mean, at least you have what's the Innocent Motors and all that.
Yes.
And I think there's another car plant or something there.
Yeah.
So, as part of stimulating industrial growth, does the government of that state source its vehicles from within?
Okay.
Including maybe the governor's vehicles.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. There's something I wanted to add, because he keeps saying you are talking about what has been achieved.
Yes.
As I speak to you, the energy part of the Anambra mix city has been completed almost 90 something percent.
The energy.
The energy sector. And the energy is very important for the industrial growth. That has been taken care of. It's almost like 95% done. Okay? Now, the pharmaceutical hub is springing up and constructions are going on there. And don't forget, we are looking for investors that will come to the state, take advantage of the mixed industrial city that is being created. Instead of sitting out there and be complaining that you don't know what is going on, go there. A lot is going on, and people are taking advantage. Now, coming to your question,
yes,
that you asked me, the governor, the vehicle he used is not Japanese, it's not Korea, it is not American model. What he uses is IVM, innocent vehicle. Okay. Despite the inconvenience of
what do you mean by
that? No, there are inconveniences of using a particular vehicle. I mean, we all know the inconvenience of using even Prado Jeep. You understand what I'm saying? There are inconveniences of using any particular brand of vehicle that you want to use. Okay,
it must be
every vehicle in his convoy are all innocent vehicles. That I can speak with 100% certainty, including the one used by his security men.
Are all innocent?
Are all innocent vehicles.
All right.
Okay, and as much as possible. And you know that innocent vehicle is now in the very high demand, and also depends on their production time and production quantity. You understand?
Yeah.
Because many states from outside the country are also ordering innocent vehicle. So, based on availability of what they have in production, of course, the governor is patronizing innocent vehicle and is using innocent vehicle, one, to show our identity, that this is our own, and the other one, Jeto, I think it's Chinese brand that is also an investor in Anambra. It's being used by the state officials. So this is the way to encourage.
Yes, okay.
Even the governor himself, you know, he was a banker and a professor, and everybody knows him with the red tie and the black suit. But since he became the governor of Anambra State and being sworn as governor of Anambra State, I don't know how many times you will see him, and he has a good body for suit. You see him wearing the kente and akwete and native clothes almost 90% of the time. It is his own way of showcasing made in Anambra, doing what he's preaching. Because if we begin to actually look inwards and prioritize in patronizing what is ours, the economy will be stimulated.
That's it. That's
those industries that are collapsing, you understand, will all start coming back. So people should be able to read the game and forget the gossip. There are so much gossips and people are not reading the game. If they read the game properly, they will be able to emulate or see the credibility and the credence in the governor's attitude to work and the governor's attitude to governance. It's all about good governance and putting Anambra first in whatever he's considering.
Now, if you, especially when you review government performance with the benefit of hindsight, you are able to tag a particular government, a particular administration or regime with certain things. For example, forever and ever, this can be changed. We will agree that it was during the Obasanjo presidency that phones became for all through the GSM, introduction of the GSM. I mean, forever and ever, that's a legacy he can lay claim to, and maybe a few other things. During he's someone who has always believed in big projects. We held Chogom and so on. A few things like that you can credit to his account. Now, what are the two big things that you can credit to the Soludo administration in these 4 years? That I mean, it's not because you're saying it, but the average citizen. What I've just said about the phone, everybody can attest to it. Everybody can relate to it. And so I'm asking the kind of thing that you believe that the average Anambra person believes is a takeaway from the Soludo regime in this past nearly 4 years?
One thing the people cannot take away from Soludo's government is the fact that I've been able to transform the road infrastructures in Anambra State.
Road, okay.
Yes, very strong on roads. And like I said, for the first time, you see a governor that is able to move Anambra from just one expressway state to multiple dual carriage estates.
That's still on roads and infrastructure.
Yes. Yeah. And then I saw one thing again you can not take away from him is the cleanup and urban regeneration that has gone on in Onitsha and Okpoko area. Because as soon as he was sworn in as governor, his next point of call was Onitsha. Onitsha was the dirtiest city you can never think of. Delta State took away businesses from Onitsha, took away residents from Onitsha, population from Onitsha. Onitsha doesn't have a breather. And this governor has to come in and say no. The only way you can make people begin to have confidence in growing back, their wealth in Onitsha. It was like a shame living in Onitsha. He began the cleanup. And let me tell you, Onitsha is one place this governor has visited more than any other state, any other city in Anambra State. There's no 2 weeks that he did not spend two days working in Onitsha. Personally supervise the urban regeneration, the cleanup of Onitsha, insisting it must be done this way, it must have to go this way. It's achievable. The same thing. Just
before we go on a break, let me ask you, still talking about the cleanup and the roads and all that. One of the first things that that brought his administration into some public, I don't want to say uproar, maybe controversy, was the fact that in trying to clean up somewhere, I don't know whether it's Onitsha, a church by a popular Anambra cleric was tampered with, and that generated a whole lot of controversy at the time. That particular stretch, that particular area, how far has the job gone?
Now I'll ask you,
yes,
so that you can understand.
Yeah.
If a church knows that this is a waterway,
yeah,
and we're talking about flood and erosion,
yes,
and you choose the waterway because you want to land, and you build your church on the waterway, and water doesn't see where to pass, and the public is being affected, and houses the water is unchanneled and it is causing chaos all over the place. What do you think will take preeminence? Of course, public interest will take preeminence, and removing the church, the area of the church that actually interfered with the waterway, was the right thing to do. I would do that as a governor.
All right. So I'm saying
it doesn't matter whether it is
beyond removing the beyond removing the fence.
Yes.
Wasn't there some other work that needed to be done? And how far is that?
The work, that place is already bygone. It's a forgotten project that has been completed. The water is flowing freely. The waters are flowing freely, so it's not even an issue anymore. Even the cleric that you're talking about understood eventually that this is for public interest. He's a big supporter of the governor. And when you see that something has been done in public interest, why are you challenging it? If my own house is going to hamper development in Anambra State, take it out.
All right, maybe when we get back from this break, we'll need to talk about security, we'll need to talk about killings and all that, and how the governor has been able to, because like you said, and I think I agree with you, or you insinuated if you didn't say categorically, this election is really a referendum on the performance of Professor Charles Soludo. So if you're watching and it looks as if the focus is on him, indeed, that's what it is, because it's like the next election at the national level, the main topic will be the current president, except other parties are really able to work up something, and which doesn't seem to be happening in Anambra. Like he has said, most of the parties are in disarray. Well, maybe we shouldn't take it from him. When we get back, we expect that you have an opportunity to call in. I hope that somebody from Anambra is watching and is willing to also weigh in on this. when we get back. Welcome back to The Polity. This is the closing segment of the show. We have barely 20 minutes to go, and I do hope that you've been watching and you have some comments to make, and the line is being made open right now, 002993835, 080-299-38 and 365. Let's have you call in, and let's have you. I hope that Mazi Okorafo, okay, it's like he's from Abia State, or I don't know, so he might not be, I think Arochuku or something, so he might not be too invested in this one, but I mean that's still Southeast. By the way, it's Nigeria. So from anywhere, please, let's have your take quickly, even as I continue with my guest. Now, so doctor, let's take a look at what the incumbent, since we really don't have, you believe that there's no contest, there's no competition from these other parties. Now, so you believe that it's going to have a smooth run. But I mean, at the same time, let's take a look at what he's been able to achieve in terms of human development.
Yeah, first of all, I didn't say there is no contest. I said this is democracy.
Yes.
There are competitions.
Yeah.
There are competitors.
Yeah.
There's a contest. But I'm saying that the competition or the competitors are not strong enough.
Exactly. I mean, that's what I also mean.
To actually win the election.
Yes.
That if so far the pathway I can see that has pathway for victory is actually the incumbents.
Yeah, when you say that a party is confused and don't even know where they
belong.
It's obvious.
You just asked me a question.
Yes, so let's go to that.
Yeah, let me go to the question that you asked me. Most of the programs and policies of the government of Charles Olusegun are anchored on the pillars of human development. And if you look at his program on free maternal health care, if you look at his policies on education, which is free
maternal care, even if you want to have 10 children,
even if you're having 13 children, it's free in Anambra State. All the primary health centers, you go there, you have your free child, okay, free delivery, and that impinges on the national population policy of 4 people. I don't know which policy you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that if you want to have 13 children.
Yeah.
In Anambra State, it's free delivery.
Right.
It's free. Nobody asking you how many have you had before.
Right.
You go there, you deliver free. If you look at his policies on generally on healthcare, like equipping the hospitals, reactivating the hospitals, equipping them with providing doctors and nurses, pharmacists in the clinics. These are all geared towards human capital development, and
somebody is calling,
especially the women.
Right.
And if you look at also his policies on 1U2 skills.
Yeah, 1U2 skills. Let's take this before we lose him or her. Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, Mr. Dayo and his guest.
Welcome.
Yes, my name is Mohammed. I'm very interested with this lawyer that is really defending the governor of Anambra.
All right.
Yes, really. Well, I happen to be one time resident of the Onitsha, so I know what he's talking about from where. By the way,
so you agree with him?
Yes, I know, not with him. I don't know his person. Let me ask you quickly. This old Enugu road that passes through Abagana, how far about that road? Has it been visualized, or has it got any improvement, or has it worked before? You can answer me later. Then let me go to my point.
All right.
Related to the issue of our politician and our politics.
Your side, you can do better. I'm straining to hear you.
Okay. I said regarding to our politicians and policies, electioneering or whatever of our country of today, my view are our people should be strong enough to make decisions whenever they want to do election instead of voting on sentiment. That is one of the things that I want to advocate. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's better, but it can still get better. Yeah, go on.
Okay, so our election pattern should be on serial, that is credibility and whatever, instead of voting on sentiment and sentiment generally.
Right.
Aside.
Right.
That's one of the things I want to advocate. Then, regarding development, actually, some of the problems we have in this country today in Nigeria are sometimes governors. Because as the president said, when he removed the subsidy, he gave almost all the money to governors, and yet the governors are not doing it well. So now it is time for people in that state to test whether the money so far being supplied are being utilized or not. If it is utilized, they can report it. If it is not, they can vote for another person. That is their free to do that. That's Nigeria for all of us.
All right, thank you, Mohammed. Thank you. So you watch to hear his response to your poser.
Yes, sir.
Right, thank you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, he said the road from Bargain. I mean, yeah.
He's talking about the old road.
Okay.
Okay, that went through Onitsha, down to Abagana,
Okay.
down to Enugu, down to Oka, and he asking, has it been dualized?
Yes.
And
how
yes,
far was it?
Yes, it's an old road.
Okay.
And development has crept on those places.
Crept on.
Yeah, of course, the development has happened on those area, on those axes. Okay.
Okay.
And what the government has done is to improve on those roads. You can't see a single gallop on that very road going from Oka down to Onitsha. The government has improved on it. It is started. It is taken care of. And that's the best the government can do now.
For now.
Maybe in future. And I know inside the heart of the governor, I know when I was the local government chairman and we were doing a particular project, I know he could, supposing we want to dualize this road in future, all this market that people are building very close to the road, what happens to it? You understand? And anyway, people will always say, well, till then. Do you understand what I'm saying? But I know that if we have all the resources that we needed, if we have all the resources available to us, I know that the government will want to dualize as many roads as possible. But mind you, not every road is meant for dualization.
True. There
are some roads that are still going to remain single lane.
Yeah.
From now till thy kingdom come.
Yeah.
But the important thing is it motorable? Is it accessible? That is what is important. And I'm saying that very road is accessible. Because that is where I had my own local government secretariat in Abagan when I was the chairman. So I can speak about that road he's talking about authoritatively without any reference. And as I was talking to you about
human development,
the governor's policy on human development, when you look at his 1U2 scale, which is empowering many youths that never had skill with skills so that they can be employable. Because as if there is no job in the state, there are jobs, only that people doesn't have the skill and the discipline to be on those jobs. So what the governor has been doing is to equip them with those skills. And he built there also, if you look at the solution innovative district and the tech hub, it's preparing the children of Anambra State for the future so that Anambra becomes an incubator for innovation. You know, by the time this project, all these trainings people are going through begin to materialize, Anambra will become a tech hub for Nigeria, because the governor is laying all this, and these things are all targeted at the youth. He's laying the foundation, he's building the innovation district, and this innovation district is meant to incubate innovation. People are being empowered after their training in 1U2 skills. They are being encouraged with startups, being given funds. In the next 1 week or this week, we're entering about a couple of thousands of this young men will be graduated. The second batch will be graduated, and the government is spending a couple of billions of naira. I don't have the exact figure, but around into billions that will be handed out to them as grants for their startups. So these things are targeted towards empowering the youth. That includes also the free education, like I told you. Also making sure that the schools, the classrooms are equipped to qualified teachers. All these are all about improving the human beings in the state, both men, both genders. Nobody is discriminated against and nobody is left behind. So most of his programs, even the Wife Tech project that we try to talk about, the healthy living with Maya Soludo, are all targeted towards improving the living standard of the people. It's about also about improving on their well-being and their health. So I know this is the wife's intervention and the government policy are all linked together, and that's why I said it's like the synergy is there, and that's why I call it buy one get one free. You elect the governor, and you have a dutiful wife that is also making her own contributions in social intervention, especially area that government ordinarily may have overlooked. That has to do with women, young females, cervical cancer issues that she's advocating and whatnot. I mean, it's been a huge synergy, and the governor has been doing wonderful work in that area of human capital development.
When do you think we're running very much out of time, very fast out of time? This problem of having a four-day week, so to say 4-day working week in the southeast, one would have thought that maybe a Professor Soludo would have been able to talk the people out of it. When do you see this giving way to the normal 5-day week, and what do you think needs to be done? Is this something like what was done concerning the Niger Delta militants or something? Is there something that can be done? Is there a creative way of stopping this? And is it possible to stop in one state? I mean, one state per time, and then gradually maybe the 4 states, the 5 states get covered ultimately. Do you think?
Yeah, our wish will have been that the entire Southeast will be peaceful and less restive. The entire wish of everybody will be that these hoodlums that are driving the narrative are run in. You know, for you to get any Igbo man, talk about Biafra. And maybe by the time people begin to realize that this is an illusion, that are being scammed with that Biafranist talk they talk about, that makes all these things to happen, the sooner they realize that, the better for everybody. The governor, of course, is not against anybody agitating for self-determination. I am here sitting down. I'm not against you aspiring for your self-determination. It is your right, constitutionally, to seek self-determination, but it is not your right to begin to maim and kill people because you're making yourself determination agitation. That's what everyone that have some bit of common sense in him is up against in the southeast. And this issue of sitting down, we're losing a couple of billions of naira every day in Anambra State, for example. People sit at home, they didn't go to work. We are losing billions of naira. People are losing money. We're supposed to be working at least minimum 6 days a week. But we are working 3.5 days. You're talking about 4. Because Friday is half day. You understand? So you see, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, half day. That's when we're working. And we want to grow like China. We want to grow like Japan. We want to be like Dubai. How do you? You can't. You understand? Because you have to have the discipline and attitude to transform your state. And the governor has been talking about this. He made it mandatory. In fact, he made it mandatory at least that him as a governor goes to work on Monday. And that is the day he will hold his cabinet meeting.
To compel his EXCO members to come.
And to compel those that work with his EXCO members to be at work. To compel the civil servants to also be at work.
Is there a security arrangement to protect them from harm?
Of course. Yeah, the government have put in a security arrangement in place. I mean, people are in Oka, for example, and there are other places, unlike before, where you cannot move. People are moving freely now. People on their own are even breaking the siege of Statue. Before, people were so scared because what this people does is to strike and create fear in people, so that nobody comes out. And you know, when people say that they're sitting at home, it's like legitimate civil disobedience. You cannot force somebody to come out to work. To come out, I said I don't want to go out today. And it's your house. What do you do to the person? There's no magic you can do to a man who wants to sit at home.
Exactly. But there's a problem where you compel others not to also go to work.
That's what I'm saying. Those people that are compelling others not to go to work are the ones that the law should go after. And that is what the government has been doing by putting security in place and getting them arrested and getting them and putting them before justice. That's why everything is narrowing down gradually. And also do understand that the people themselves who are sitting at home, at a stage they begin to enjoy sitting at home, because we are the civil servant that you're asking to start home, like holiday. Everything, you understand? They now use the Monday self as naming ceremony, marriage ceremony, and burial ceremony, and visitation, and other things they want to do. They are going to work, but it is we hurting ourselves. That's the issue here. It is we hurting our economy, and that's why I said in the beginning of this program, who are thinking for the Southeasterners, who are thinking for you, who, in all the things that you see happening in the North, did you see them say that today is not work day, that you are staying at home? In all the things happening in the Southwest, don't they have agitation? Did you see them say that you cannot go inside on a particular day? What is wrong with us? When the better militants were doing what they are doing, did they say that nobody should go to work on a particular day? They never say so. So what is wrong with us, and who are thinking for us? Who did this arithmetic? And after that came to the conclusion that the best way we can solve this problem that we are inside is by sitting at home on Monday. So from Friday half day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, then Tuesday you begin to go to the market or go to the industries and go to and do whatever you want to do. That is enough to compete. Lagos has left us behind. The Southwest has left us behind. The North, with their whole insecurity, has left us behind. We are on our own. So we need to change the narrative. We need to, as a people, understand that there are many ways we can actually do this agitation without deeply cutting ourselves up, cutting our flesh. There are many ways we can do that. We can learn from the Yorubas, the way they do their own. You can learn from them. They are next generable. You don't need to go far. You don't need to start acting like Hamas, in Gaza, before you can do that you recognize.
All right, this is all that we can take. I do hope that this has served you, my dear viewer, particularly those of you who are very interested in what goes on in Anambra and the outcome of the upcoming elections. I do hope that we made the best of the time, and unfortunately we had only one call. We will just have to go now, and I must say thank you, Doctor.
Thank you very much.
So, as far as you're concerned, you see yourself congratulating Professor Soludo after the elections for the second term?
I'm sure by 6 o'clock on November 8th, we should be drinking a palm wine from Omo. They call it Nkwen. And eating some bush meat in celebration of Soludo's re-election. What is important to me now as a person is not even whether he's going to be re-elected. Of course, that is, as far as I'm concerned, it is given that will be re-elected.
Fait accompli.
Yes, what I am looking at now is moving forward. Those projects, those ideas that he has formulated to make sure that those things are achieved one by one, because it has limited time. 4 years is not a long time. Before you know it, you've come to another round and circle of 4 years. So at the first 4 years have been work. I believe that the next 4 years will be another round of work, because he is the one who applied for this job, and then the Anambra hired him, and I think he's doing it cheerfully without grumbling.
All right, we've got to go. Thank you very much, Dr. Clem Agui. Thank you very much. And to the Anambra people, go get yourself cards right now if you are of eligible age, or if you have some issue with your card, please go there so you can correct it and you can be eligible to vote on the day. And please do go out there and vote and make your own choice known. Let your card speak for you. Don't allow anybody to cow you into voting against your own conscience. Don't allow your vote to be bought for a pittance that will put your life in a chain for another 4 years. Well, that's it. My name is Daryl Morgan. I want to say thank you to every one of you who have been watching, and I'll say thank you, a big thank you to my production team also. It's bye for now from me, but please do join me in the evening for Matters Arising from 8 to 9. Tomorrow's another day. Polity will be on the air at the same time, 2 to 3:30, and someone will be here to take you through. Thank you so very much. Stay tuned again after this program to Kaftan TV. Just stay there. Thank you very much.